Hello, very warm welcome. F1 testing reaction. Test 2, day 1. Robert Kubica finishes fastest. Right at the end we have AlphaTauri and Red Bull have an issue. After a pretty uneventful day. To sum up the day, we have Kubica fastest. Three red flags because we had one right at the end. Couple of spins, pretty uneventful. Test 2 begins. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be reaction. Sainz gets out first. All drivers in today, apart from Giovinazzi and Kevin Magnussen. Kubica very slow spin, like literally going so slow spins, was quite weird. Albon, 1 lap, he had an issue, suspension. Vettel, spin, turn 8, he brings out the red flag. He did manage to get back to the pits, but because loads of gravel went over the track, they brought the red flag out to clear it up. Lewis Hamilton gets very wide, turn 12, hit the gravel. We saw Max do it in the first test, and he spun. Lewis did exactly the same, but didn't spin, luckily. Red flag, Latifi, engine issue. So, going down the second DRS zone, out of turn 9, the fast right-hander pulls off halfway between turn 9 and turn 10. Lunch on day 1 of the second test. Kubica is fastest, 2 red flags. Norris comes out first after lunch. Worrying times once again for Ocon. 2 hours in the garage, but then he did pull it back. He managed to do 74 laps in 2 hours. He didn't come out for 2 hours. And then the last 2 hours he did all them laps, so strange. Max spins in the chicane. He's had a couple of spins in that chicane. Lots of long runs, pretty stale afternoon, not much actually happened. Looks like Kubica's going to end up the fastest. Romain Grosjean, the only one to hit over 100 laps. I'm very impressed with Racing Point and especially Sergio Perez. Max spin. Now, right at the end of the session, we got 5 minutes to go. Max comes into turn 10, spins. Very strange. Definitely a car issue. Something wrong with the car, because he wasn't even going that quick. Brakes, and the car goes round. He stops, gets out, and then Kvyat stops up the hill. And I'm guessing Danny Kvyat ran out of fuel, but literally they've crossed the line. Well, the session got cancelled because there was 5 minutes to go, so pointless going back out. I react straight away. I've been out today and it's like, I watched the first hour, I watched the last hour, but not much has happened today, so I've not missed that much, it seems. F1 testing, day 1, second test. My reaction, no footage. Robert Kubica fastest. So let's run down the order. Robert Kubica first with 53 laps. Now at Alfa Romeo as a test reserve driver, and he finishes fastest. Not even a full-time 2020 driver, he's just a reserve driver, but he ends up fastest. Max P2. Now he had that issue right at the end. He had a spin, 84 laps for the Dutchman. Sergio Perez P3. With 84 laps. Again, he's always been up there. Racing Point look absolutely amazing. I've been very impressed with Racing Point and Sergio Perez. Danny Kvyat stopped late on, right at the end. 61 laps in his AlphaTauri. Solid. Pierre Gasly in his AlphaTauri, 25 laps. Now, him and Albon, right at the start, they were in the garage for a very long time. And again, it's weird because Max and Kvyat both stop at the same time. Albon and Gasly had an issue right at the start of the day. And obviously Red Bull, AlphaTauri, both Honda engines. Strange that they stop together. 6, Albon, 29 laps. Obviously had an issue in the morning. 7th, Lewis Hamilton, 89 laps. Lance Stroll, 43 laps. He's in 8th. Valtteri Bottas, 90 laps, 9th. Mercedes, again, no issues, getting the mileage in. Sebastian Vettel, 10th, with 84 laps. Had that spin, managed to get back to the pits. Brought a red flag out with all the gravel he left. Daniel Ricciardo, 11th, with 53 laps. Carlos Sainz, 12th, with 46. That's not that many, to be honest. very, compared to like Grosjean, but Grosjean was in for the full day, but even Norris did more than Sainz. So Charles Leclerc 13th with 80, getting down now. Latifi had brought the red flag out. He'd done 48 laps, stopped between turn 9 turn 10, brought the red flag out, engine issue. George Russell in the afternoon, he's done 59 laps, had to wait a bit after lunch to get out. Romain Grosjean does the most laps. He's the only driver that did a full day today, 107 laps for the Frenchman. Lando Norris is 17th with 57 laps. Did more laps than Carlos Sainz, was out first after lunch, had a stint in the commentary box. Eventful day for the Briton. 18th, Kimi Raikkonen with 51. And last but not least, Ocon, 19th with 74 laps. Considering Ocon was in the garage for 2 hours, he only had 2 hours to basically of the day left, and he's done 74 laps, which is over a race distance. So there we have it. Test 2, day 1 reaction, and Kubica's fastest. Who would have thought we would have been saying Kubica was fastest? A guy who's not officially a driver, the reserve driver. It is an odd one, I have to say. Why is Giovinazzi not in the car in the morning, Kimi in the afternoon? It's a strange one for me. But Kubica, he's got his Polish fans at the track. Robert Kubica is the fastest on day 1 of the second test. So, Wednesday reaction done. Thursday tomorrow, join me for day 2 reaction, plus Manchester United match reaction, and then day 3, and then the final day of testing, and then it's getting ever so closer. We go on to Melbourne. I would say a pretty uneventful day today. Kubica fastest, 3 red flags, couple of spins, Racing Point are superb. If you're going for a big shout out this season, we're going to see the Racing Point on the podium. More than once, I would say. Very possible, but it is testing. Let's not get carried away. Robert Kubica does finish fastest on day 1 of the second test. Comment down below, we'll always reply, and as with these testing videos, if you reply first, you get pinned in the comments. So there we have it. Day 1 of the second test done. Kubica fastest at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. Adios, adios.